Greetings, demons, and welcome to a bit of a more casual Fortnite discussion, basically going over some ideas, some thoughts I have about the current state of essentially Fortnite cosmetics across the various different modes, and a few things that I kind of hope do change in the future. But yeah, that's enough of an explanation, I feel. Let's just jump into it and roll that intro.
Not the leader of a cult, RabbitWithAxe.
So, just as a bit of an outline for what exactly I'll be talking about, obviously, if you play Fortnite, you'll already know there is already a vast selection of different styles of cosmetic, depending on the mode that you're actually playing. So, the main ones being Battle Royale, Lego, Rocket Racing, and also Fall Guys in Creative. And each of them have a different variety in terms of what actually is available in those modes. I'm mostly going to be talking about the actual player model, so mostly going to be talking about outfits and cars, and just generally how I think things should change in the future. So I think, to start off, we'll just quickly go over the kind of as it stands, like, current situation, and that is most, if not all, brand new skins get a Lego variant, and for the most part, that is pretty good. We are far into the point of actually having custom skins for pretty much every outfit. I know there's some Battle Pass outfits, some of the older ones, that have not managed to get a Lego style yet. I know they are working on that, but yeah, when it comes to the new outfits in the item shop, you know, stuff like the brand new Super Shack skin that came out just tonight, it's very much one of those cases of they kind of are required to have an actual Lego style. I don't know if it's an actual, like, contractual obligation, because we have seen things like the recent Deadpool skin, the new version that came with Wolverine. That one didn't get a Lego style, and we can only assume that that's because Deadpool is seen as, like, an adult character, a character that they don't want to actually have represented in Lego, even though, you know, Lego themselves have produced multiple Deadpool figures. It's kind of interesting enough itself, but yeah, at the end of the day, I think for the most part, unless it's a character that Lego themselves don't want, they are required to actually get a Lego style. And we saw this as well with some other Disney properties recently. Obviously, The Incredibles, we got Frozone, Mrs. Incredible, and Mr. Incredible, all getting Lego styles. And then even the newer Halloween stuff, like Nightmare, who we saw recently, and Shadow Monks, who is coming soon, those did get their own Lego styles, which is good to see. And obviously, Super Shack, as I just mentioned, was an actual collaboration. There's a lot of good stuff happening with Lego, and I'm actually really happy that we're actually getting such a variety, especially when it comes to things like the decor bundles. I'm not going to get into those as much, but the fact that we now get bundles of skins with decor, mostly Marvel-based so far, it's really cool. I think it is a really neat feature, essentially, and honestly, there's not much that I could suggest to change when it comes to Lego outfits, Lego cosmetics. At the end of the day, I wish every single skin, regardless of, I guess, target audience or, like, age rating or whatever, would actually get a style. And obviously a glaring omission from the Lego Fortnite side of things is all of the DC content. I assume that's because Warner Brothers right now, I don't think they actually have exclusive rights to Lego licensing anymore. It's a bit up in the air with what's going on right now, especially with the fact that currently, the main LEGO games releasing are LEGO Fortnite and LEGO Horizon Adventures, which is obviously an Epic property and a Sony property. It is kind of up in the air on what we'll be getting in the future. Something that I do think should be changing soon enough is we don't have many of the gamer characters, any of the gaming icon skins that have LEGO styles either. And I think that is also just down to licensing. I think LEGO doesn't want certain characters, though. We have seen things like Destiny actually get LEGO styles, which in and of itself is quite interesting for, you know, a game series that has never been represented in any form in LEGO. But yeah, when it comes to LEGO, I just kind of hope that one day they'll move past some of these, like, age rating things, because at the end of the day, a LEGO skin is a LEGO skin. It doesn't really matter what the content the character is from originally, in my opinion at least. I think that, you know, Lego is for everyone. Lego should be able to represent all different things, and especially when there are, you know, plenty of real-life characters, plenty of Fortnite original characters, and plenty of, you know, animated characters and characters from comics and stuff like that, like, being represented. Why can't we have Deadpool? You know, why is Deadpool held, you know, away from something like the Demogorgon, which does get a Lego style, but then there's plenty of other characters that are in that same sort of world that don't get styles at all? I don't know, but that is my main thing when it comes to LEGO, is I just hope that we get more in the future. And otherwise, I think LEGO is actually the best representation of what this, like, metaverse, you know, variety of cosmetics actually represents. And yeah, that's all I ever have to say about LEGO right now. And I think it only makes sense to move on to the creative Fall Guys aspect of the current Fortnite metaverse, because if you don't know, right now you can play various creative maps based around Fall Guys within Fortnite, and they do feel a little bit different from playing actual Fall Guys, the game, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's playing as the Beans. You get a bunch of Fortnite original characters in Bean form, though they very much feel like the LEGO skins before they get official styles, if that makes sense. A lot of them are very vague in how they look like the original skin, and I think the biggest thing is they need to actually give them real variants in the form of Bean. They do need to have actual Fall Guys styles, just how they have LEGO styles, for all the Fortnite original skins at the very least. And that's not even mentioning the fact that Fall Guys themselves have a ton of collaborations with the same IP, the same characters that are in Fortnite. Why is it that, you know, Venom, for example, has a Fall Guys outfit in the game, in Fall Guys, but isn't represented at all when you play Fall Guys in Fortnite? It just seems like a bit of an inconsistency there, where I understand that Fall Guys themselves, you know, their customization is tops and bottoms. It does actually have a bit of variety there, but you could just lock it down to, in Fortnite, you are required to have a matching set. Other than that, you're allowed whatever you want, and it can only be if there's a standard Fortnite skin for that character. I think that would work out pretty well. That would allow things like, for a lot of Marvel characters, to be fair, as well as the Incredibles as well, to actually have their true, proper, you know, Fall Guys Bean in Fortnite. And it is so weird to me that it almost feels pushed out a bit ahead of time when it comes to the Fall Guys collaboration, because we really don't have much going for it. You know, there are a few, you know, official maps made, and obviously all the creative tools were released, but when, you know, I'm playing as Kit Bash, for example, and I don't really look like, you know, a Bean version of a toaster, that to me is a bit of an issue, especially when LEGO Fortnite does have Kit Bash. And I understand LEGO Fortnite has had a lot longer to work on these different styles than presumably Fall Guys has, but when there are existing outfits for characters from, you know, from Fortnite, including actual original Fortnite characters that were made into Beans for Fall Guys, it seems a bit weird to me that they would just kind of ignore that in order to, I don't even know, like, I guess just save time on development. And by no means am I trying to say, oh, they should sacrifice, you know, time working on any of the other modes to instead work on Fall Guys stuff. That's not what I'm saying. I just think if they want this metaverse to actually function as they seem to want it to, they should probably focus a little bit on at least porting over models that already exist into Fortnite. I just think that makes it a lot better. It means that they actually have another proposition for people to buy things in the item shop. You know, as I say, the Fall Guys skins for the Incredibles do exist. So, you know, right now they're selling the Incredibles bundles. Why don't they also include, alongside the Battle Royale styles and the LEGO styles, why not also include the Fall Guys styles? And they look proper and correct, and it gives you another reason to want to get those skins. Maybe someone only really plays, you know, Fall Guys Creative, for whatever reason, in Fortnite. Maybe they want a very specific character, but feel there's no point because, you know, even though they may even own that skin in Fall Guys, it's not represented in Fortnite's version of Fall Guys. It's just a weird inconsistency there, and we'll get to it in a moment, but I do also get that a lot of the issues come down to how do they allow cross-purchasing. So, for example, I own Venom in Fall Guys. I own that skin. I also own both the Eddie Brock and standard Venom versions of Venom in Fortnite. How will that work in terms of ownership? Do I automatically get another Venom on top because I own the one that's in Fall Guys? I don't think that makes too much sense, but also, if you own one in one game, should you then own it in the other? This will come into play when we talk about Rocket Racing. But how exactly are they going to make that work in the future? And I'm sure they could just be like, oh, here's 500 V-Bucks or whatever, and, you know, you now have access to the Fall Guys bean of that skin. I don't know. They could definitely do something like that where it's like you get a little bit money back, but not too much so that it actually feels, I don't know, you're not getting messed over, I guess? I don't know. It's really difficult to kind of put out an idea for it because it is such a weird concept that, you know, these are a number of different games that all have a lot of the same collaborations and yet don't have direct crossover. And as I say, we'll get into this a bit more with Rocket Racing, but yeah, Fall Guys definitely needs to kind of realize itself a little bit more within Fortnite. And I think I speak for a lot of people when I say, in a lot of ways, we need one definitive kind of epic metaverse launcher. We actually kind of need Rocket League and Fall Guys to actually be implemented directly into Fortnite, and Fortnite needs to become a little bit more of a launcher than it already is. Because right now, you know, it's all well and good saying, oh, well, you know, open the Epic Store, you have, you know, Fortnite, Rocket League, or you know, whatever, I can't even remember, Sideswipe, that's what it is, the mobile version, Sideswipe, and then you have Fall Guys. And they're available on all platforms that Fortnite's available on. That's fine, that's all good. But why isn't it that I can't have all of them in one application? Call of Duty's been doing this for a little while now, and yeah, I just feel like that sort of integration would go a long way, where you could still, like you can with Fortnite right now, install specific sections if you only want Fall Guys. For example, you don't have to install the entirety of Fortnite, you just install the Fall Guys section. Just like how right now, if you want, you can just install Lego Fortnite. You don't have to install the entirety of Fortnite. I feel like that would be a good way of actually merging everything together and allowing for a bit of cross-purchasing to function a bit better. But yeah, when it comes to Fall Guys, it's definitely a lot of work in progress stuff, and I hope that it gets better over time, though. Honestly, I'm not holding my breath too much. I just kind of hope that, at the very least, the collaborations that are in Fall Guys get brought over to Fortnite, because it makes too much sense. You know, you've already got the licensing for both versions of the character. Why not combine them together? It makes a lot of sense to me, but, you know, what do I know at the end of the day? But that brings us to the one that I think actually is the most confusing, and I've actually been bringing this up a few times over on Twitter, which you can follow me in the description below. I will have my links down to all my social media. But the idea that Rocket Racing and Rocket League are supposed to be connected, you know, they are actually supposed to have cross-purchasing and stuff like that, why is there so much missing? And I know it's, you know, always getting updated, there's always a new body getting brought in with every update. I know it's a gradual thing. But why is it that there are some collaborations, once again, that are represented in both Fortnite and Rocket League, but you don't get the car bodies actually brought over? So the one that I always like to mention is Transformers. We, of course, have a Transformers collaboration in Fortnite. We have Optimus Primal, Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Megatron, and then the Battle Bus robot. And that's a great collaboration. It was a very nice premium physical release. I do really like the physical releases. It was really cool for me. But then also in Rocket League, we also have a Bumblebee collaboration. It is the Bumblebee vehicle body that does transform when you win, which is a pretty nice little feature that I don't think would ever carry over into Fortnite, but still very nice to see. And then you also get a few other Transformers cosmetics, including a gold explosion that has Optimus Prime. That doesn't really matter as much. Why is it that despite the fact I can play as Bumblebee in Fortnite, I can't drive the Bumblebee car? I'm not expecting it to have, you know, built-in emotes or anything like that, anything ridiculous like that. I just want that body that is already technically in Fortnite to be there. I don't think that's the most complicated thing in the world, and quite realistically, I don't think it would take much for the licensing to actually carry over. These games are already pretty connected, but it just weirds me out when stuff like that is just not combined together. And this goes on to a lot of different collaborations. Right now, we are getting a bunch of different collaborations first in Fortnite for Rocket Racing. That being, first off, the Tesla Cybertruck, which did come to Fortnite first, the Incredibles Mobile, whatever you want to call it, came to Fortnite first, or rather is coming to Fortnite first because it isn't quite available yet. But these sorts of things are primary to Fortnite, and that includes all the boss vehicles from the various seasons that we've had, so like the Lockjaw and the Behemoth, those came first to Fortnite. In fact, I'm pretty sure the Lockjaw is 100% exclusive to Fortnite in terms of you can only get it through the Fortnite game. It's really weird that we have stuff like that, but then, all these collaborations that do exist cross-game do not carry over. And this goes into a much larger conversation about why wasn't Rocket Racing able to have all base bodies from Rocket League in the game? Because I understand all the variations, all the, augmented versions of the various vehicles. There's like 17 different versions of the Octane. But at the end of the day, there are a lot of normal default vehicles from Rocket League that are just not available in Rocket Racing. And I feel like that's a really big missed opportunity, especially when, speaking of, we already have both the Octane and the Octane ZSR in Rocket Racing, despite the fact that we are missing a ton of very standard vehicles from Rocket League. And I don't know, to me it just seems a bit questionable that they haven't carried over as much as they could have, especially when, some of these vehicles have seen representation in some form in Fortnite, before. And, even when it comes to collaborations, the fact that Ferrari was in Fortnite at one point, never as a cosmetic, only as an in-match item, and that same car does exist in Rocket League, why doesn't that carry over immediately? They already have the model made for, Fortnite, so I don't know, there's a lot of weird questions when it comes to how that works, and I just kind of hope that eventually it will carry over. Things like the fact that we have all this big collaboration with Disney right now, obviously the first Pixar skins ever in Fortnite with The Incredibles, and yet Cars, which, has a Lightning McQueen skin, or car body, whatever, in Rocket League, isn't carried over to Rocket Racing. It feels like they're taking a lot of half steps in terms of this, like, Metaverse idea that I just don't think are paying off too well, especially when, a lot of the bigger things that we've seen have just been more Marvel, more Star Wars, and, weirdly enough, Tesla. But when it comes to the wider world of collaborations that all these different games are sharing, we just don't really see any crossover between them. And I kind of think it's a shame, especially when the entire idea, behind things like Fall Guys and Rocket Racing being in Fortnite was that, we're connecting to the other games. It just seems weird that they then only take a half step with it and don't actually introduce, full compatibility with cosmetics, full compatibility with different characters and collaborations that we have seen across both games. I don't know, to me it just seems really questionable, and I'm sure at this point I'm getting a bit repetitive in what I'm saying, so I apologise for that, but yeah, there's just a lot of weird things when it comes to the fact that, there's barely, realistically, any car bodies in Fortnite right now for Rocket Racing, despite the plethora of, different vehicles that are actually available in Rocket League, most of which are just base bodies. I'm pretty sure there are more base bodies in Rocket League than there are in Rocket Racing, like, total. And I just think that's kind of wrong, because, we've got, 32 vehicle bodies, including the Incredibile, I can't even say that word, but including that one, I think there's 32 in Rocket Racing. That's not even scratching the surface of how many different body types that are in Rocket League. And, yeah, I just think it's a bit weird, honestly, but, yeah, that's really all I can say about it. So, on that note, that is really everything that I wanted to discuss, so the TLDR sort of thing, I think the collaborations and all the other little crossover aspects between the different games in Epic's Metaverse, that being, Fortnite, Fall Guys, Rocket League, really needs a bit more work. I think a lot of things could be upgraded, could be improved in general, and hopefully it does happen. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later. With how long it took things like Fall Guys to actually make it at all into Fortnite, it does make me worry slightly for the future of these sorts of collaborations and the overall metaverse that Epic is trying to construct. But, yeah. I guess one other thing that I just didn't bother mentioning because I don't really care as much, why are the music tracks from Rocket League not available in Festival? I don't get that one. That should be really easy because that's purely down to licensing, and a lot of, Rocket League original tracks are in that game. Why are they not available? But I digress. That's another point for another time. But, yeah, in any case, that is really everything I wanted to talk about. So, if you enjoyed this video, I hope you did. Make sure to like it, subscribe if you're new here, and ring that bell so you never miss upload. Otherwise, comment below your thoughts and feelings. What do you actually expect from the future of Fortnite and the overall epic metaverse? I know people don't like that terminology, the metaverse sort of thing. I'm not a personal fan of it either, but it's the best way to describe what Epic is trying to do, so forgive my, buzzword usage, but yeah, in any case, it's going to be it from me, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Look at the screen, you'll be fine. Culture's a disease, but worlds divine. I just wanna take